the seaside, sometime in summertime, or whenever you're free, use the free time to freestyle some lyrics and drop a melody. I bring the good vibes and the fat rhymes and my ukulele, baby.
Yeah.
You bring the good times and the tan lines, and the rest is just you and me. I wanna sing it like we mean it. Yeah, let's get carried away, carried away. Let's get lost in the moment, 'cause all we got is today. So hit me, baby, with a little bit of good times and those itty bitty tan lines. I'm sipping on a cool vibe. Maybe we can say hello with no goodbye. Give me some of that sunshine and make my summertime. Oh yeah. Ooh, sure feels like summertime today, I'll tell you that much. It's a scorcher. Now I'm wondering what you're thinking. I got this feeling that I can't even know. Guess what I'm saying is that hanging has got me wanting a little bit more. Alright, I can't deny it if I try it. I get higher when I'm next to you. You know some things just come easy. It seems we could be the same way too. I wanna sing it like we mean it. Oh, let's get carried away, carried away. Let's get lost in the moment. All we got is today, so hit me, baby, with a little bit of good times and those itty bitty tan lines. Yeah, sipping on a cool vibe. Maybe we can say hello with no goodbye. Give me some of that sunshine and make my summertime. Ah, na na na. You make it brighter, like I'm staring at the sun, wearing that bikini two-piece. But you're the only one. You take me higher, like I'm floating on the breeze. And that makes the living easy. Must be a California dream. Yeah, so come on, come on, come on, come on, come on and hit me, baby, with a little bit of good times and the itty bitty tan lines. I'm sipping on a cool vibe. Maybe we can say hello with no goodbye. Now, give me some of that sunshine out on the coastline and hit me, baby, with a little bit of good times and those itty bitty tan lines. Ah, sipping on a cool vibe. Maybe we can say hello with no goodbye. Give me some of that sunshine and make my summertime. Oh, come on and make my summer.
Make my summertime. With the Wheeland brothers, thanks for tuning in. We are in the Backyard Beach here in Mission Viejo, California. This is actually the house and the backyard that Trav and I grew up in.
Yeah. It's changed a bit.
Yeah.
Used to have a swing over there and the bushes that we would climb through. But I think this is the best iteration of this backyard that's
Yeah.
ever been. The backyard.
There's
beach.
less Ninja Turtles back here. We used to have our California desert tortoises, Myrtle and Yertle, and various cats.
Yertle the Turtle, oh marvelous me.
We had the clubhouse in the back over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, home sweet home. Wrote a lot of our early songs out over here.
That's true, yeah. I can think of all different times, like sitting up against the fence, riding over there, and just all around here.
Here's a little ditty called Like You Do.
want it, then you got it.
Yeah. Then you got it. Yeah. All right. Get off the couch and drop.
Baby, you're the only one who gets me like you do, does me like you do. Oh, oh. Baby, you're the only one that loves me like you do, does me like you do. You got my back in times when nothing's working for me. It's the kind of love that brings me up, the kind of love that sets me free.
Loving sets me free.
More and more I can't ignore it, I can't get enough. Hey now, we're just holding on to the ones we're loving. Yeah, to the ones we're loving. Baby, you're the only one that gets me like you do, yeah, does me like you do. Oh, oh, oh. Baby, you're the only one that loves me like you do,
Yeah, you do.
does me like you do.
A pretty baby beam on the summertime. We can share the sunshine, bounce to the baseline with hands on your waistline. We can have a fine time whenever we can find time. Spending all of my time sending out a love line just to tell you what you mean to me. I'm loving that you love for what you see in me, and nothing ever comes so easily. So what you got, will you give it till it gets to me? Yeah.
We got the rhythm like the swaying of the trees. With me loving you, that's how it's gotta be. Saying, baby, you're the only
Put 'em up, put 'em up, put 'em up, put 'em up, put 'em up.
Oh, baby, there's no other one.
Yeah.
Baby, you're the only one that gets me like you do.
Yeah, you do.
It does me like you do.
And yeah.
Baby, you're the only one that gets me like you do.
Yeah, you do.
It does me like you do.
Yeah.
Baby, you're the only one that loves me like you do, does me like you do.
Yeah.
Like you do.
There was a time when we used to end every song with that. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe that's what's gonna happen today.
Back in the good old Jack Big Head days.
I don't know.
Oh, shoot, set this out in the sun.
Oh, sorry.
Let's get out of tune now.
Well, it wasn't in the sun earlier.
Hold on.
Crept up.
Entertain the people while I tune this thing.
This is the tune of the song.
Take a tour of the backyard.
Yeah, let's take a look around. This is the backyard beach. This is all built by my dad. You can see the resemblance because all of the buoys, the bamboo. Somebody, I hope they're watching, but somebody gave us this taqueria sign at the show a few days ago.
Aww.
Pretty cool. Made out of pieces of license plates and rope that washed up on the beach in St. John.
Travis is so proud.
And yeah, the palapas,
Built by your dad.
the sand. The sand in this backyard is well, I don't know where most of it came from, but every time that my parents go on a trip or that Nate or I go on a trip, we bring back a little bit of sand to mix in, so it kind of infuses the memory of all
It's
this.
magic sand.
It's very, yeah.
Magical.
But let's jam this.
Let's do some surfer girl. Trav, you wanna? Trav's gonna surf like a girl on this one.
Yeah.
Paddle out, man.
That means with style, right?
Do we need to? If you're gonna be on this, should we bring the microphone more over this way?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody gonna lift me up or something? I gotta ride something. 2, 3, 4. I got dropped in on by a surfer girl. Right as I was shooting through the curl, the barrels start to dump. I pump, but I had to jump. A leash of a surfer girl tangled up with me. Oh, I fell in love with that surfer babe. I finally caught that perfect wave. Tan skin and stoked for days. Don't need Hawaii to get laid. She's refreshing that summertime lemonade. Oh, got that mid-tide outside south swell breaking with my ride or die. Girl and I, good vibe making. She's cute, but don't you be mistaken for some sunbathing beach babe out there faking. I fell in love with that surfer girl. Na 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 na. Tan skin and stoked for days. Don't need Hawaii to get laid. Pass me some of that summertime lemonade. Oh, who knows riding sweet, but at bottom turns better. Jack Johnson on repeat, 'cause we're better together. Lay out, turn over, and show a little crack. Then pass the sunscreen, 'cause you know I got your back. My surfer girl.
Pitted, so pitted.
So pretty.
Gosh, it's hot out here. Woo! Dang.
Yeah,
It's like 100 degrees.
that sand is hot.
Whoop it.
Well, we're back here at Home Sweet Home in Mission Viejo, where we grew up. You might have seen our guests. Our parents decided that they could take a time out from their busy schedule of traveling the world to come talk to us for a minute. You guys want to go over to the Palapa? We thought we'd give you guys a little window into the origins of the Wheeland brothers.
We are the origins.
This is where it all started. It's right here.
Yep.
What do you guys?
Want
guys
some
have to
memories?
say?
You want some memories? Okay. I think, from what I remember, must have been about 13 or 12 when you got your first guitar.
Yeah, I still remember I was in line with Dad at Michael's, I think it was, and I just had this moment where I would like tap Dad on the shoulder, and I was like, you know, I think when I get home, I want to look in the penny saver and buy a guitar.
So you know it was a long
And
time ago. Penny
I looked in the
savers,
penny
yeah.
saver. I got a guitar for $50. Put the wrong strings on it. It was a nylon guitar, put steel strings on
Yeah.
it. Sounded like crap. And that was the beginning.
So it's kind of weird though, because Nathan was always so social, but for a while he was shutting himself up in his room, which was kind of a concern. It's like, why is he spending so much time in his room all the time? So, but pretty soon we started hearing some chords coming through the door, and he was learning some chords.
You're probably glad he shut himself in the room. You see, I had to hear
Yeah,
all
it's for
of
your
that.
own sake. That's protecting
Well,
you.
Then we got Travis a guitar right away. We thought, man, we can get him in his room
But
too.
before Nathan played guitar, though, he did start on the violin because that's what I started on when I was young, and then he switched to his clarinet. Yeah,
We have props.
Yeah.
This is not my violin, by the way, but it was, this is a violin. It's about the only likeness. Yeah, so I think it was great having him play violin, get to learn music, know how to read music, on to the clarinet and saxophone, and then guitar kind of took over his life.
I feel like I didn't really own music though for myself until I got guitar. That's
right.
This is a side tangent that I know Trav could really get into because he feels very passionate about this, but the way that we teach music around here makes absolutely no sense
at all.
We jump from music is an art form. It's meant to be self-expression. It's made to make you feel,
play.
And with the kids, we jump straight into the mathematical, technical, terrible, boring side of music, and that's why kids I think a lot of kids hate music off the bat.
No, they don't hate music. They love music.
They
hate music class in school. Think about what if kids already loved math and then they went to class? They already love music and then they go to class and you ruin music for them.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
It's so easy to just have them do the stuff they love already. Anyway, rant over.
Yeah. No.
But the
I got you.
what we did
I got
what
you.
we did at home writing music, I almost never even thought it was the same thing.
Yeah. No. I totally agree with you on that one.
Well, we were very music-loving family from little.
Well, you did and still do sing in choir at church.
Yeah. Well, and worship team, yeah.
Yeah, and worship team.
yeah.
So that was a great start, just seeing you doing that, and then eventually Trav and I became worship leaders at church, and we were playing music, doing that whole thing, getting up in front of a crowd, getting experience doing that.
Yeah, on a regular basis too. That's on a weekly schedule. It forces you to
Right.
to
I
practice.
felt like, Nate, with you just really took to the guitar. Once you started figuring out the chords, you were just full in. And then you had your band, garage band. which-
Jack Bighead.
Jack Bighead.
Well, even before Jack
Early
Bighead.
on, you guys were playing. But what you didn't have was a vocalist. And I do remember the day you guys were set up out in the garage. You were playing. You used to play the Sweater song over and over again.
Oh yeah, a lot of
Weezer.
Weezer.
Yeah,
and
well,
Red
I
Hot
don't
A lot of
Chili
Weezer,
Peppers.
and then Travis stepped up to the mic. Little brother, at one moment,
He was like
stepped
12.
up, and he had the voice. And all of a sudden, I could see the light go off on the rest of
Like
those
everybody
guys.
was going, what?
We got somebody who
have a
can sing
singer."
here. Now we got a band. So that was the start with Travis. And I remember countless hours of Travis in his room just
yeah.
practicing his vocals. These guys have worked hard at their craft. Let me tell you.
And
They
we
have
did
a
a
lot-
lot of songwriting with each other through the walls, the bedroom walls. Like I would hear Trav
Yeah.
doing something, and I would mess around with it, and then like when we
had
felt like it
certain
was
knocks
ready.
that we would do on the wall that was like, "Hey, come over," and well,
Yeah,
and,
you're
like,
right, we
After you
did.
guys were in bed, it was like this certain knock was like, "Come over and we'll quietly jam
the
together." or
different
something.
codes and stuff.
My instrument was the accordion, and I tried really hard to get these guys into polka music, but it never worked. So,
No.
you know,
Weird Al
could have been a
though, he
polka
had come
band.
Weird
Yeah,
Al.
could have been a polka band. But
Our dad, though, is a big influence. You know, people always ask about the musical influence, like were your parents musical? But there's a lot more, like, you know, like we were saying earlier, there's a lot more to music than music. And so our dad inspired us a lot more on the surf side of things, and especially on the storyteller side of things. Just always sitting around the campfire in your like character we called Delbert, and he would just like riff these stories about our trips. And music is the same thing. It's just you're telling a story, and the lyrics and the words are very important.
I remember that like one of the first songs that we ever wrote was actually really something that Dad wrote, which was like, "One day I ate some apple pie, it tasted very good." It was like this,
Wow, I
it was
wrote
a super long time ago, we were just little kids, but the way that you would just freestyle
I gave some to
and just
my
make
cat,
up
and
stuff
cat began to
is really just what songwriting is. You just, and Mom walks around the house humming melodies constantly, which I inherited that too, like just kind of having melody in
Music
your head.
all the time.
But I will say, you guys, first of all, if you're a Wheeland Brothers fan, I want you to know how much these guys appreciate you. Because when they come back from a tour, when they're on the road, the stories that they want to tell, first off, are always about you
Yeah,
guys.
man.
They've always got a story about how you guys have inspired them. So I think they appreciate that, and it's really true. If they inspire you, I want you to know that you inspire them. It's very true.
Absolutely.
Albert?
Well, when I was a youngster, I used to be kind of like these guys, except I had no musical ability. I couldn't write songs. I wasn't very intelligent, but I don't know what they inherited from me. But whatever it is, I hope they lose it. But we've had a lot of good times. A lot of good times at the beach, in the mountains. And one of my privileges is I get to hear a song idea early on. So many times we've been up in the mountains around a campfire, and one of them will share a song idea. And I'm like, wow, that's really good. And just to hear how you guys massage that and change that and turn it into what comes out of the studio just amazes me. And you guys work hard at what you do. And
You get to hear a lot of that because a lot of our songs incubate for years before they come out.
True.
that's true. Yeah. Watching waves. I backpacked for 3 summers with that song in my head. Now I'm so glad everybody else gets to hear it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
True enough.
So anyhow, it's been a pleasure being your parents and
Yeah.
watching you guys grow. But one of the things that we appreciate, if we go to a Wheeland Brothers concert and somebody recognizes us, we're the Wheeland parents, of course.
Yeah.
They always have a story.
Oh,
they always
yeah.
want to tell us something
Like-
great about these guys.
Something
And-
that you mean to them, like something you said to them or something, how you related to them and how it changed their experience.
Yeah, musically, they are inspired by you, but it's oftentimes they want to talk about just what good people you are
Yeah, definitely.
and the things that you've done.
Makes us very proud.
When we hear a story of, we drove for 2 states to a concert and we got there late and we couldn't believe it. Nate and Travis took us aside down to the beach and did a concert for us. Who would do that, Or you did something to help somebody's, a family member that, to help some kind of a fundraiser or something like that. So you guys do a lot of those things, and you don't like to
and
talk
we
about
wouldn't be
those
able to
things.
do that if it wasn't for you guys. All the times you let us take over the garage, take over the living room, like all through
Keep
high
you up
school.
late.
We
Yeah.
pretty much just
With you.
turned the house into a rehearsal space. Like probably my last 2 years of high school. That's all we did on the weekends. We would just
The spare bedroom
surf
had,
and then go jam.
sound dampening foam drilled into the walls, and that old Packard Bell computer.
Oh, yeah.
Before we ever had any kind of professional mics, we just had that little headphone jack microphone, and Nate had his made-up radio station with Nate Rock.
Nate Rock, yeah.
And we'd do fake interviews, and
You were just talking earlier before the live stream, Dad, about how you came home one day and there was a recording van in front of the house and all these cables, and the whole house had been turned into a live recording studio, and you walked in the door and there was some girl sitting on the couch, and she just looked at you and was like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
True story, yeah. I just said, hey, I live here somewhere, but I just couldn't go into my bedroom, though, because I think somebody was playing bass in there. But anyhow, yeah.
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 I think at one point you guys were even commenting that the walls of the living room
Were
looked like they're cracking
I
because we
know.
would rock out so hard. And
no.
there was this lady across the street that really didn't like us. And she would call the cops every
Yes.
time we'd rehearse. And it got to the point where she would just spot us moving the drum kit in the living room, and the cops would show up before we even started playing.
Oh my gosh. So I remember one time we were painting the house for Chris next door.
Yeah.
And I was out in front and I was painting the eaves, and the lady across the street, you guys were just tuning your instruments, and she'd already called the sheriff. Sheriff shows up, he sees me, and he thinks I'm the neighbor because I'm painting over there, and he's worried about what kind of guys you are. He goes, "Hey, so there's a band over here at this house. What are these guys like? Are they going to be a problem, or And I go, "Hey, man, they're great, man. I love them like they were my own kids." And the guy goes, "Cool." And then I heard him go over and knock on the door. You guys answered. And you're like, "Hey, man, we're just warming up and everything." And he goes, "Sorry, I have to come over and ask you to keep the music down. There's been a report filed. I have to do it. I'm sorry." And you guys were like, "Okay, that's cool." He closes the door, he walks back out, and he goes, "Hey, yeah, those guys are all right. not bad. I told you, you know.
Sometimes we were troublemakers, though. I remember, like, one time we really wanted to rehearse, and the lady called the cops, and Robin took his snare drum and just started parading up and down the street, just hitting the snare drum as hard as he could, just, like, screaming stuff. He just, like, really wanted to make a big thing out of it. And even at school, in high school, we would play at the talent show and get in trouble for, like, there was the one show where you pulled the whitey tighties out of your pants, and we didn't do it at rehearsal, and it's so ridiculous when you think
Pretending
back
like
to like when you're in high school, the abuse of authority. Because I just remember, like, they acted like it was the crime of the century.
Well, okay,
that
so
you
they
pulled
were
your
mad
underwear out of your
because
pants
I went
on
up to the
stage.
front of the stage and I pretended like I pulled my underwear out of my pants and lifted it up, and then we hung it on the bass guitar,
hung on the bass.
and then for this entire school talent show, people kept moving the underwear onto other guitars, so it was just like an object that was like a theme
matter who
of
was on
the
stage,
entire.
yeah.
While we
So-
were in the principal's office getting lectured and like told we were going to possibly get suspended, there was still this whitey tighty like swinging from the bass
Oh,
neck
and
while
it's
everyone
like,
was playing.
they're like, what would your parents think?
That's right. He took you to the back of this. We were sitting in the
What would
very
your
back
parents
row,
think?
and he said that to you. He goes, "What would your parents think?" And you said, "I don't know. There's my dad right there. Why don't you ask him?" I was like, "I thought it was all right." You didn't have anything more to say after that, but
That settles that.
yeah, those were some
Yeah,
fun times.
my parents are riffraff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would rock
rule-
out pretty
we're rule
hard at those
breakers,
Jack
we're
Big
rule
Head.
breakers,
We were
they say.
cross country and track guys. So we had a lot of endurance. So we used to really rock out super hard at every single show. I mean, it was crazy the level of whiplash that we.
You
put
still do
ourselves
that.
through.
I think every show you guys play, and I've seen probably as many of your shows as anybody, you guys always bring it. Doesn't matter how big the
Yeah.
crowd is, how small the crowd is. One of my favorite stories about you guys is, like so many times, it seems like music chose you guys. The story when you played at this little bar in Newport that had just opened, and you guys told me the story this way. You said you showed up, the bar was brand new, and it was the first time you played a gig, and nobody showed up. You started to play, and nobody
one
was there,
was there.
literally nobody. And some girl came in and sat down, so you guys decided to play to her, just like you were in an arena show or something, and you were just doing this whole big show for her, and this guy comes in and sits at the bar, who you would later learn was Francis, who was the personal assistant to Stevie Wonder. And I
Yeah.
remember you coming home that night and telling me, "Oh, we got a funny story. This guy claimed to be Stevie Wonder's personal assistant, and he said he watched our show and thought we were great, and he invited us to go to the backstage to the Stevie Wonder Christmas show."
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
We
and
got to
then you
hang
could
out
tell it
with
from there.
Stevie Wonder, and we met. It was just crazy. They were like,
I got to sit cross-legged
Wasn't that when
at
Drake
the
was
foot
there too?
of
Yeah,
Stevie Wonder's keyboard backstage as he played for like 10 or 15 of us. It was mind-blowing.
yeah,
And he is, as you would expect, amazing.
yeah. He
Like,
is the
he-
music.
He cannot make a bad sound.
But you guys have, through your career, you've had so many, like almost Forrest Gump moments like that, where just
Serendipitous.
yes, absolutely, and it
Yeah.
pushed you forward in your career. And I know you guys have worked hard. And by the way, you guys both have college degrees. You could have gone in a lot of directions to make money in your lives. Nate worked as a civil engineer for 5 years. You chose this, but the music kind of chose you too, as things progressed. So many times, you guys were encouraged by just these serendipitous things that happened to you in the industry.
It starts to make
couldn't
sense in
escape it.
hindsight, though. Like when I think back to that, we were stealing your guys' camcorder to shoot music videos to like funny songs that we wrote as kids. It's pretty seamless all the way through. You're like, oh yeah, we were basically doing this same thing as play when we were kids. Not a whole lot's changed. It's just a different version of the same
Yeah.
thing.
Well, if I were watching this right now, this live stream, I would much rather hear you sing than hear your parents talk. So I think we should get out of here, Cindy, and let these guys
Well,
play.
I think I'm going to sing with them.
Oh, you are?
Oh yeah.
What, you
yeah.
want me to sing? Oh,
Yeah,
my
give
gosh.
us a little
See?
taste of your singing voice. Okay.
That's true. That's true. All right.
Should we
do you
try?
wanna do?
I know it's been a long time since we did a Jack Big Head. We could do like a Jack Big Head song for old times.
Yeah. I'm down to give it a shot.
How are we getting the phone down? Do you want to put the mic up on the stand?
Here, is there a spot?
Guitar's been baking in the sun.
I think Trav needs to have one.
Okay.
Oh,
I can pull one.
I can go on this thing.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
You on that?
Guitar's a little bit out of tune, but
I'm on the surfboard.
okay.
Yeah. And the closer.
I just started
Let's
with
do
the
My
verse or
Sweet
something.
Caroline.
Yeah, just wing it. How did it even start? Just Caroline. Caroline talked about dreamers.
Yeah. Caroline talked about a dream. Run away to Never Never Land. We sit for hours by the creek, and we never understood what we could have had. A smile is growing on her face.
Yeah, sing it.
Don't understand and she doesn't care. We hide out in our secret place. Caroline grew up and she disappeared. It's taken years to get where I'm at, and I'd be a fool if I wanted you back. So many days sung out in a song, each one the same, forgotten and gone. So many nights were not real life, wasted away, my sweet Caroline. Go!
Caroline likes the color gray.
Caroline likes the color gray, but I don't understand 'cause it doesn't fit. We go out walking in the rain, and she only gets a laugh from a chick flick. Take me everywhere you go, hop, skip, jump like we used to. Tell me everything you know, sweet Caroline, the only one I listen to. It's taken years to get where I'm at, and I'd be a fool if I wanted you back. So many days sung out in a song, each one the same, forgotten and gone. So many nights were not real life, wasted away, my sweet Caroline. So many days sung out in a song, each one the same, forgotten and gone. Na 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 na.
It's electric. Oops. Bridge. You can do the bridge.
Man, blast from the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It was a lot crazier though. The Jack Biggett version was much more high energy.
All the
That's
little girls would be come
chill
running
out.
around going,
A lot of guitar solo lap dance.
yeah, Janet was one of them.
Yeah, there's the Jack Big Head dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay.
Well, let's do some other ones with you singing.
Do you want us to stay here? Or we
oh,
want
no,
to stay here?
Let's do Things We Grow. This song, the recording on Lost in the Key of C actually has our mom singing on it.
No.
There was somebody at the show the other night who said they danced to this song at their wedding.
Aw.
All the things we grow. Why? Oh, I guess the things we grow, we're gonna sow tomorrow now. So before the day grows cold, let's burn another down. Let's take a sec to look back and reflect. A minute before there's no time for the time that we're given. Because this could be it. How much more do we get? Who's put a stop payment on my reality check? Cause what's the point of it anyway? If I'm making the most when I'm doing my thing. Hey, less human, more being. The beauty is freeing. Love for all things, that is why we sing. Oh, I guess the things we grow will sow tomorrow now. So before the day grows cold, let's burn another down. You got that something that soothes my soul, so much more than you ever know. We got each other's hearts to hold, forever young, for never old.
Start with the second verse.
Yes.
Oh, mom knew. Okay, so we gotta do first verse. I wanna stay here forever.
I wanna stay here forever, baby, you and me. Light as a feather, like lovers in the cool breeze. And where we go, we don't know, but we'll follow our hearts to the stars, where the crescent moon is grinning down. Love is the reason for the air that you're breathing. So don't hold it in from the people you're meeting. A smile is a style that don't go out of season. Keep that in mind each time you're feeling down. Oh, I guess the things we grow will sow tomorrow. Give me a beat. So before the day grows cold, let's burn another down. You got the something that soothes my soul, so much more than you ever know. We got each other's hearts to hold, forever young, for never old. Are you down, living up to the things we've been dreaming of? There's so much more that you could say. Are you down with dreaming up more ways we can live it up? There's so much more that you can say. You gotta say. Oh, I guess the things we grow will soar tomorrow now. With every beat of a beating heart, we'll be together. I just wanna love you so and never let you go. You'll always be my beating heart, yeah. Before the day grows cold, let's burn another down.
Yay!
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
Do you have the capo around? Or is it over there?
I think it's over there. That was cool. That was more like the demo version of that song.
Yeah.
We need to bring back the there's a hip hop version of that song that we never really have showed anybody.
Well, speaking of songs that Mom sang on the new album, we have Watching Waves, and there's this kind of spooky part, and some of those voices in there are heard.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's my favorite part.
It was fun being in Lou's studio.
Studio.
Watch some waves.
I'm living with eyes wide open, watching waves rolling. Packed my bags and moved into the moment, watching waves rolling. Lucid my restless gaze on the horizon line. Bring me back to where I stand. Open ears for the poetry down the open road. Press my footprints in the timeless sand. Changes in our latitudes, cast away from what we knew. Find yourself and lose your destination. The darkest colors have fled, words remain unsaid, but tell it all, tell it all. Find yourself and lose your destination. Find yourself and lose your destination. I'm living with eyes wide open, watching waves rolling. Packed my bags and moved into the moment, watching waves rolling. Watching the day begin. Oh, let it begin. Na na na. Watching my wave rolling. Camped along forbidden coast, far from where the city grows. There's a beach fire, dancing to the same old song. The crackle and the flame whisper no names, but tell it all, tell it all. Find yourself and lose your destination. Let it begin. Find yourself and lose your destination. Let it begin. Find yourself and lose your destination.
Yeah.
Live from Backyard Beach. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We got one more for you. Paradise is a Moment. It's the song that came out today. And really stoked on this one.
I've been waiting for this one to come out.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorites. And real quick, we're going to be doing a show coming up at the Coach House. Make sure you check out some tickets online. It is a ticketed show. Bring all your friends. We haven't done a ticketed show in a while, and it would really mean a lot for you guys to come out. It's in San Juan Capistrano, California, in just a few, like in another Friday or two. So, and also Ryan Heflin is going to be opening for us.
It's a Saturday.
It's gonna be cool. It's a Saturday? It's a Saturday. Okay, Saturday. See, that's why she's here.
Yeah,
Here,
I'll
take
trade you.
this. Yeah, let's trade here.
Paradise is a moment.
I thought paradise was a place, Trav. What's this moment stuff? I don't get it.
Paradise is also a sandwich shop up the street, but
Paradise is locked.
and probably a hotel and everything else. But
Oh, Paradise Inn? Remember that place that we stayed at?
yeah.
The worst, probably the worst hotel I've ever stayed at in my life. Motel. whatever you
Paradise.
want.
yeah, the door had like 2 inches missing at the bottom, so all the leaves would blow in.
Oh my god.
And all of it had the same painting like 3 times in there, and they were all screwed into the wall. Great place.
Paradise is one of those words that I kind of hate to say it, but like if something has paradise in the name, it's probably not paradise.
It's like when something is labeled professional. It's usually a toy.
World's greatest cup of coffee, not the world's greatest cup of coffee.
But for me, this song started in Big Sur. Nate and I definitely tag teamed this song, but the Paradise is a moment, not a place. I was just laying on my back on the sand at a beach in Big Sur, freestyling, and then like that phrase came to me, and I was just savoring it. And Big Sur is kind of a paradise, but I was coming to the realization just that it was more of the people I was with. And for me, the big lesson in this song is that it's you. You are paradise. Paradise can only be accessed if you have the capacity to find paradise. If you can't find it right here, I don't know if you can find it anywhere. It's that whole thing, that cliche of wherever you go, there you will be. Like, you are your own company everywhere you go. So you have to have the eyes open, like the song we just sang, open ears to the poetry. You got to be able to see paradise and be able to walk in the door.
Yeah, some people travel halfway around the world on vacation to find paradise, and then they go and they do the exact same stuff that they do at home.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why they I don't know, why they didn't find paradise. Or maybe they do think they found it, or maybe they do find some sort of paradise in that. But I think that yeah, just what you said, Trav, it's really something that you find within yourself. Kind of like a find yourself and lose your destination, like the last song. There's it's really more about finding yourself than finding paradise. And the other side of it too is that paradise is a bittersweet place. I mean, whether you're thinking of it in terms of a moment or a place, you go there and you can't stay. It's a fleeting moment in time. You can't hold on to it. You can get the postcard. Everybody does that. You can get the souvenirs to try to take you back there, but you'll never be there again. And there's something so beautiful about that, and bittersweet.
But the other side of that bittersweetness is the realization that paradise. You can feel like you're stuck somewhere, and that you can't get to paradise, and like, oh, if I had enough money, I could go to paradise. But you know what's going to happen? You're going to get enough money, and you're going to go there, and you're going to be like, I could have found this anywhere. I could have just walked away. For me, a lot of times it's getting away from the distractions from the paradise within. You go walk in nature and you find paradise really quickly if you're capable of, if you practiced seeing the beauty in yourself and in your friends and the people around you. That's paradise.
Well, it's very fitting that we're here in Backyard Beach, because you don't have to go further than your own backyard to find paradise. So, You could build a palapa in your backyard. That might help, you know.
But if you
Our
do
dad
build
built
a
this, by the way. He went, and a side story. This is how much I love my dad. He went to Rubio's Baja Grill down the street because he liked their palapa, and he wanted to like measure out the specs so that he could build his palapa the same way. And he goes and he starts measuring it, and the people there were like, "Hey, if you're gonna be in here, you got to buy something." So he goes and he buys like a small Coke, like the cheapest thing. He he could have bought a burrito, or he's just like, "You're gonna have to have lunch anywhere," but no. He just bought like the cheapest non-thing on the menu and then still measured the palapa and made this. So for the price of a small soda, you too can own one of these palapas. And actually, just a side note on this song too, Big Sur was where it began, and this song has bounced all over the place as we massage them out. It's found paradise in many different forms, in many different locations. For me, this song always takes me back to St. Augustine, to Anastasia State Park. Shout out to Mark Giblin. Last time I was out there, he treated us like kings. Caitlin and I took a trip out there. That's when we sort of massaged out the end of the kinks of the song, and it all fell together and just became the beautiful tune that it is today.
Melodies on the ocean breeze slip away with the sunset in my mind, but together we are timeless. Footprints on the sands of time, and in the blink of an eye, stars align. Will we ever find any way back here? For long, today we'll be gone, so let's run away to anywhere. Paradise is a moment, not a place. You and I, we can go there, but we can't stay. Oh, I can feel it, floating on the ocean breeze. Might not be able to hold it, but it's got a hold of me. But paradise is a moment. Let it take you away.
Take you away.
They say that progress is progress, so we keep on pushing on to where the grass is greener. But what about when it's up and gone? Fully alive, we truly arrived, and look behind, talk about someday. Right now, together we found it's not so far away. Hey. Paradise is a moment, not a place. You and I, we can go there, but we can't stay. Oh, I can feel it, floating on the ocean breeze. Might not be able to hold it, but it's got a hold of me. Paradise is a moment. Let it take you away.
Take you away.
The same flow of time that brought you here is gonna pull you away.
Pull you away.
The same flow of time that brought you here is gonna pull you away. The same flow of time that takes away tomorrow has given you today. Paradise is a moment. Let it take you away. let it take you away. Paradise is a moment. Let it take you away. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hanging out with us.
I like to just sit and just bask in a little of the afterglow of songs.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna take a siesta.
Same flow of time that takes away tomorrow has given you today.
Well, I hope you guys are finding paradise out there. Thanks for hanging out, getting off the couch with us, and sharing the stoke. We really appreciate it. Love you guys. We had a blast out on the East Coast, and there was so much love. It really does just,
It was amazing.
yeah, it leaves me at a loss for words when I
Nate
think
actually
about
said that one of the shows was his favorite Wheeland Brothers show ever.
Yeah, I love the listening show environment. I know that some people have said that they want to get out of their seat and dance and all that, and I totally get that. I think it's great to be able to move to the music. I mean, Trav and I, when we're up on stage, we can't help but move around. Trav always is saying, I'm not going to rock out at this show. And then he gets up there and he can't help but rock out. So I totally get that. But sitting in your seat, just like listening to the song, not like having the distraction of talking to your buddy or having somebody else that's talking to their buddy that's pulling you out, to be completely focused, a room full of people who are all just focused on what's being said, what's being played. It changes the whole energy, and that means a lot to me. I'm not big on these shows where the soft songs, like this Paradise is a Moment song, when we play this live, this is going to become the song where everybody just is like, oh, it's quiet, I can't hear it that well, I'm just going to walk to the bar and talk to my friend. And these songs, to me, are just as important as the loud, obnoxious songs that force you to pay attention. So, I don't know. Anyway, it's just something to think about. You know, when you're going to any show, just, like, appreciate the music and maybe shut up.
Coach House will be a listening
You want to
party.
be the soundtrack to your 2 a.m. conversation and your summer vacation, not your one-night stand.
Yeah.
And, you know, that listening is contagious to where you can kind of get the chills from it sometimes.
Oh, yeah, there was so much more emotion. The emotion was so potent at that show. You know, people were crying. You don't cry when you're just listening to your neighbor yap. You know, well, you might cry, but for other reasons, you know? Like, it's just... silence is a virtue, I guess. The old cliche. It's a virtue. So appreciate you guys who are in it for the right reasons, who just want to hear the tunes and just want to soak it all up. So lots of love and stoke. It's been a great summer jamming for you guys. We're just got a few more of these left, and the album's going to be coming out, and hopefully we'll be coming to a show near you, and you can think about what we just said when your neighbor starts talking to you.
You can talk at the shows. Just savor.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not about not talking, it's about listening.
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, look, I'm biased. I'm a yogi. I love going places where people can't talk. So, there you go.
We'll do a library show.
Anyway, I'm Nate Friggity Frog. If you didn't know Wheeland, this is my brother Trav Wheeland. We got Caitlin Weathers.
Hey.
We have Ryan Heflin here.
We got
Janet,
Fantastic.
of course, the wonderful Jantastic.
Janet.
My parents
Sweet
giving us
Weathers.
the opportunity to jam like old times in Backyard Beach.
That's right, beach.
Thanks for hanging, guys.